Hey, so the other day we were working with some elderberries, and this time of year, if you harvest your own elderberries and you harvest them fresh, they will consume your life for about 3 weeks out of the year. So today I am going to be making some elderberry fire cider. So the base of fire cider is always horseradish with onions and garlic, but I don't like horseradish, so I like to use hot peppers from the garden and the nasturtium flowers and other blends. So I like my fire ciders to be a little bit different. I like to be very creative with them. So I'll be making so many different types of blends with them throughout the next few weeks to get prepared for that yucky cold and flu season, which I call high carbon season and low vitamin D season. But today, what I'm gonna do, I was gonna point out some of the ingredients. Obviously, I have more elders, fresh elders. I have some lemon basil, nasturtiums. If you've not had nasturtium leaves and flowers, they're very spicy and they have a chemistry in them that is extremely antiviral. So we're gonna use onions and garlic, some tulsi, and then these are Fresno peppers. So this is what sriracha sauce is made out of. Brian makes all of his own fermented Fresnos to make his own sriracha sauce. But these are really spicy, but they're also kind of sweet. So the flavor profile of this is just gonna be so fun. So when you're making fire ciders, think outside the norm, think outside the box, and make them really creative and fun. So here, I'm just gonna start, like we did with when you're working with fresh elders, you just want to get them in here, and you can see I've already got some in here, but fire ciders are so yummy. I like to make them to where, yeah, they're going to have a lot of heat in there because that's the whole point. They're there to warm up stagnant tissues. If you think about just how miserable you are when you have any type of a sinus infection or you're super congested, why reach for Mucinex? That's not real. Reach for stuff like this. Reach for things that are real, that are going to help to support your immune system and help your body's natural processes instead of using all that fake stuff from a drugstore. We've got it all right here. And fire ciders can taste so good. I love using them. You can make salad dressings out of them. You can make vegetable marinades out of them. They don't have to be only for when you're sick and you're not feeling well. If you're creative, one of my favorites that we're gonna do this season is a Bloody Mary fire cider, and I was inspired to make that last year when I had an abundance of green tomatoes in like late September, October, and I was like, what am I gonna do with all of these green tomatoes? So I used them to make fire ciders, and it was like the best thing ever. It was a Bloody Mary fire cider, and one of my friends told me that she used it for salad dressing, so I thought that was really fun. But we're gonna make sure we get all those seeds in there. And then I also like to make them with jalapenos, but Brian was like, those are just really kind of sweet and super spicy, so that will be really, really good to do. But this is the time of year to start getting your fire ciders going and think outside the box. You don't have to always do the norm, and you don't have to be real specific with it. Get your onions in there. We need these allium vegetables. Get those skins in there. That's where your omega-3s are. That's where your quercetin is. Get all of that in there. Oh, I put the whole garlic in there. So we're just gonna loosen that up a little bit. Oh, look at all that. Yes, get those garlic skins in there. All of it. You don't want to waste any of it. I like to take my skins and save them for broth mixes when we start doing our own bone broths. But you don't want to waste any part of them. It's in there, and then I like to let mine set for a good 4 to 6 weeks in there. with that lemon basil. This one's lemon basil. Oh, wish you could smell it. Outstanding. So good, so good. So we've got that in there. Look at all those yummy, yummy medicinal plants. And then there again, raw, organic apple cider vinegar. You can use some other fun vinegars. I can't wait to start. I've got some of my vinegars going. So I'm going to teach vinegars at the homesteading conference this year. And then really get some cool blends going with some homemade vinegars from different plants. So there again, we're just gonna stir all that up, and I'm gonna cover it, and I'm gonna let it sit for about 6 weeks, and then I will strain it. And then you can add honey to this and make it into a fire cider oxymel. That's just going to add nutritional value. It's going to add medicinal value, as long as it's local and raw, as we know. None of that grocery store stuff where they heat it so it won't ever crystallize. Or you can leave it as is and then add like an avocado oil to it, or a hemp seed oil, you know, something that's not an industrial seed oil, and then you can make really fun salad dressings out of it. You can do that with the oxymels too. But this is the first of our seasonal fire ciders, so I can't wait to hear what you guys are doing.